Most people standing on a deck this weekend have no idea what's holding it up. We pulled the federal injury records, the building code filings, and independent lab tests to find out. Every year, about 6,000 people are injured when a deck, porch, railing, or staircase gives way. And here's what nobody's saying out loud. The worst screws in this investigation aren't the cheap no-name boxes. They're the right-looking screws with trusted names sold in the same aisle with nothing on the label telling you where they don't belong. One of them is a Home Depot exclusive, whose screws contractors say snap by the handful. You're going to recognize the name. Behind all of it, one night, one city, 13 people dead, and the fastener rule that changed because of it. We're counting down all 10 from concerning to genuinely dangerous, then finishing with the 3 screws that won't snap. Let's get into it. Number 10. TK Excellent and the no-name import boxes. You've seen the listing. 630 deck screws for $19, 5 pounds in the box, 2 free driver bits thrown in, 4.4 stars. Before you add it to the cart, read what the box actually promises. Crafted from durable carbon steel, rust-resistant finish, exceptional strength and durability to handle even the toughest outdoor conditions. Now read it again for what isn't there. No steel grade, no coating standard, no corrosion rating, no salt spray hours, not one number you could look up or hold anyone to. The seller is a trading company in Zhejiang, and the reviews carrying the highest helpful counts are flagged right on the page as incentivized. Here's the first test you can run tonight. Take any screw you already own and hold a magnet to it. A hardened carbon steel screw will slam onto that magnet. That doesn't make it a bad screw. What it tells you is that there's nothing but a thin coating standing between that steel and the copper in your lumber, and the box never said how thick that coating is or how long it lasts, because it never said anything at all. Rust-resistant is not a specification, it's a phrase. There is no agency that defines it, no test it has to pass, and no consequence for printing it on a box of screws that will be holding up something people stand on. You didn't buy cheap screws. You bought a box that made no promises and got exactly that. And here's the uncomfortable part. At least this box is honest about being cheap. The next one costs 3 times more, and the entire premium rests on a single word that turns out to mean almost nothing. Number 9. The stainless steel box that never prints the grade. This is the trust-in version, and it catches careful buyers specifically because they were being careful. You paid extra, so you'd never have to think about rust again. The word on the label was the whole reason. But stainless isn't a material. It's a family, and the members behave nothing alike. Grade 302 is considered low-quality stainless, offering minimum corrosion resistance and not recommended where anti-corrosion actually matters. Grade 305 is the industry standard for general outdoor use. Grade 316 is the marine choice, with molybdenum added to resist pitting and salt damage. Then there's 410. It's harder and stronger, which sounds like an upgrade, but it's notably less corrosion resistant, and it does not belong in wet or salty conditions. All 4 can legally be sold to you as stainless steel deck screws. Here's tonight's second test, and it costs nothing. Hold a magnet to the screw. If it sticks hard, it's likely 410 high rust risk. Then take a bowl, mix in salt, and drop a few screws in for 24 to 48 hours. Grade 304 and 316 come out clean. 410 starts spotting. One honest caveat, because it matters. Cold forming during manufacture can leave even genuine 304 screws mildly magnetic. So the magnet flags a suspect. The saltwater bowl convicts. Stainless is a promise the grade makes. The word alone promises nothing. At least these two boxes were vague. The next two brands sat in the same independent test as everybody else and published nothing at all. Number 8, WoodPro. Number 7, Velocity. These two are on this list for what we couldn't find. In an independent test, a builder bought 11 brands of deck screw with his own money. GRK, Spax, Deckmate, WoodPro, Deck Drive, FastenMaster, PowerPro, GripRite, Deck Plus, Velocity, and Eagle Claw, and ran all of them through abrasion, corrosion, holding strength, and shear load testing. No sponsors, no manufacturer samples. He states outright that he buys everything himself specifically to keep manufacturers away from the results. So the field is even. Everyone was measured the same way. Now compare what these brands have published since. GripRite puts hard numbers in public. A minimum of 1,000 hours in ASTM B117 salt spray, with no more than 5% red rust on their PrimeGuard Plus line. GRK publishes an ICC evaluation report you can pull up by number. Simpson Strong-Tie publishes corrosion guidance across their entire catalog. WoodPro and Velocity? We could not locate a published coating standard, a salt spray figure, or a code evaluation report for either one. We're not claiming their screws would finish last. We can't make that claim because the data doesn't exist publicly to make it with. What we can say is this: these brands were in the same aisle, the same test, and the same market as companies that publish everything and chose to publish nothing. When every competitor shows their numbers, silence stops being neutral. It becomes the answer. They want you buying on the box art. The box art is all they gave you. The next two brands aren't silent. They tell you exactly what their screws can do in language that quietly expires. Number 6. The interior screw in exterior lumber. Number 5. The lifetime coating that isn't. Start with number 6, because this one is chemistry, not marketing. In 2004, the EPA phased out CCA-treated lumber for residential use. What replaced it, ACQ and copper azole, packs far more copper into the wood. Copper against zinc or steel in the presence of moisture creates a galvanic cell. The wood starts eating the fastener. The numbers are not subtle. Laboratory testing showed standard zinc-coated fasteners lost more than half their mass after 1 year in copper azole solution. Stainless showed negligible loss. Electroplated screws now fail in 1 to 2 years. Ordinary interior screws rust out in 2 to 5, and the board splits around the corroded shank. This isn't a recommendation. It's code. IRC. Section R, 317. 3 requires fasteners in contact with preservative-treated wood to be hot, dip galvanized, stainless steel, silicon bronze, or copper. The screws in the interior aisle meet none of that, and nothing on the shelf tells you which aisle you're standing in. Number 5 is the fine print. Deckmate and GripRite both market lifetime polymer coatings. Read the actual terms. GripRite's exterior screws carry a 10-year warranty when installed correctly. The listing says lifetime coating. The asterisk says 10 years. The lumber changed 22 years ago. The label never did. If this is already changing how you look at that aisle, you're about halfway. The next 3 brands are the ones you pay extra for, and the last one comes with a body count. Number 4. Spax HCRX. Number 3, PowerPro. These are the screws you upgrade to, and the upgrade is thinner than it looks. Spax is a contractor name. HCR stands for high corrosion resistance, and the ceramic coating is the entire pitch. In independent acid salt spray testing, premium ceramic-coated brands like GRK and Spax did hold up well, but held up well means the coating showed damage. The steel underneath hadn't rusted yet. The protection was already wearing through. Coated screws stay rust-free for roughly 10 to 15 years, and only if the coating stays intact. Now compare that to what contractors find tearing apart 30-year-old decks built with 305 stainless. Screws that still look new, not darkened, not pitted. And there's a restriction on HCRX that most buyers never read. It isn't approved for use with cedar. Number 3 is Power Pro, and this one's about who's behind the shelf. Power Pro and Deck Plus are both Hillman brands. Deck Plus is the budget line, roughly 3.5 cents a screw, nearly 7,200 reviews at Lowe's, a 4.7-star average, and a 4-layer epoxy coating rated for ACQ lumber. Power Pro is what you trade up to, same parent company. And for the premium tier, we could locate no published salt spray figure or evaluation report. You did everything right. Right aisle, right price. You bought the upgrade. What you paid for was a coating with an expiration date nobody printed on the box. Individual coatings wear out slowly. The next brand fails in months, and contractors have been documenting it. Number 2, Deckmate. Number 1, every brand in this aisle at one specific joint. Deckmate is a Home Depot exclusive, and it's in millions of decks because it's the screw that's simply there when you're standing in the aisle. Then read what contractors report on modern pressure-treated lumber. 60 to 80% of screws snapping at the thread-to-shank junction within months. One builder replaced every screw on 2 decks after 6 months. That figure was compiled by a competing stainless manufacturer, so weigh it accordingly. But it doesn't sit alone. Independent forum accounts describe bad screws found straight out of the 5-pound boxes. We found no public response from Home Depot or the manufacturer addressing the failure reports. Now, number 1, and it isn't a brand, it's a mistake every brand on this list will let you make. Over 90% of deck collapses trace to the ledger board, the connection holding your deck to your house. When it releases, the deck swings away and drops as a unit, usually loaded with people. Federal data: 224,000 people injured by decks and porches over 5 years. 33,000 from structural failure or collapse. 13 dead in Chicago in June 2003. 57 injured. After that night, code stopped, allowing ledgers to hang on nails. Half-inch structural fasteners became the requirement. Deck screws hit 2,000 to 4,000 pounds of raw shear in a lab, but a code-rated structural screw carries a 405-pound allowable design value because that number includes safety factors and inspection. Raw strength isn't rated strength, and no box in that aisle tells you the difference. Now that you know what to avoid, here are the 3 that actually hold up. These aren't consolation picks. Each one publishes numbers you can look up before you buy. Best option number 3, GRK RSS. GRK carries ICC Evaluation Report, ESR 2442, covering both structural strength and corrosion resistance under the International Building Code and Residential Code. Their Climatech coating passed AC 257, the industry acceptance criteria for fastener coatings in treated lumber, qualified for freshwater and ground contact conditions. You can pull that report by number and read it yourself. The honest trade-offs: it's a premium price, and GRK is a division of Illinois Tool Works, corporate-owned. The paperwork still holds. Best option number 2, Simpson Strong Tie. Their structural screws are ICC evaluated as alternatives to hot-dip galvanized fasteners in ACQ lumber, with stainless versions listed for the applications where code specifically prescribes stainless. They publish corrosion guidance across every product line. The trade-off is one people misread constantly. Their numbers look small next to the raw shear figures. That's because they're allowable design values, with safety factors already built in. Honest math looks weaker than marketing math. Best option number 1, 305 or 316. Stainless with the grade printed on the box. Eagle Claw and Starborn both do this. USDA Forest Products Lab testing found stainless was the only fastener material with zero corrosion in ACQ-treated wood across every test period. There's no coating to wear through the chromium runs through the entire screw. The trade-offs are real. Roughly triple the price. Softer steel that can strip if you overdrive it, and you'll want to pre-drill hardwoods. Before you close this, here's the one rule worth keeping. It replaces this entire list. If the box doesn't name its steel grade or its standard, it stays on the shelf. G185, ASTM, A153, a salt spray figure in hours, an AC 257 listing, an evaluation report number you can look up, one of those printed where you can read it or you put the box down. That single rule removes almost every brand on this avoid list from your cart. No test data to memorize. No ownership research required. In the store, flip the box over and read the fine print, not the front. Rust-resistant is a phrase. Lifetime coating with a 10-year warranty underneath is a phrase. A number is a commitment. At home, run the two tests. Magnet first, it flags the suspects. Then the saltwater bowl for 24 hours. That's the one that convicts. And the rule that isn't about brands at all: no deck screw from any company on this list belongs at the ledger. That connection takes structural fasteners or through bolts. Nothing else. Now weigh the cost. Better screws might add $60 or $80 to a deck build. That's a rounding error next to rebuilding it in 8 years, or next to what happens when the joint holding it to your house lets go while people are standing on it. In 2004, federal regulation changed what pressure-treated lumber is made of. The screw aisle kept selling yesterday's fasteners right next to today's wood, and nobody relabeled anything. Now you know how to read the difference. If this changed how you look at your deck, send it to someone who's hosting on theirs this summer.